Welcome to The Heartpire, a community-driven choose-your-own-adventure narrative podcast. This is a small bonus episode narrating the contents of the letters Rena found at the end of episode 10. You won't need to have listened to this to understand the rest of the season, but I think it's fun for the world building. Episode 11 will be released on the 11th of July. To their Royal Eminence, High Lord Armanig Harkett, Red Duke of Fayhosh, Admiral of the Amaranth Armada, Warden of the People. I hope to find you in good health and fortune. Please extend my best well wishes to the High Lady Taluhid and the royal offspring. I am writing this letter to you with my deepest and most revered respect to inform you of an incident that happened in Velashta a fortnight ago. I would not trouble you with this event if I did not deem it to be of great concern for the entire kingdom. About 10 days ago, a small town named Melasni in the north of our province bordering Napahit was destroyed by fire. It was not a town of great importance, as it only had 37 residents. However, tragically each resident perished in the fire. I ordered an investigation into this incident to determine what the cause of the fire could have been, and my examiner informed me that an accident can be excluded as the fire's origin. Furthermore, I have been informed that replicas of the Crow effigy have been found on site. As per protocol, the complete elimination of the town's memory has commenced and the clearing of the debris has already been completed. What concerns me in this affair is that I was informed by your honored cousin, High Lady Cyprianid Marnik, that the Royal Council had struck an agreement with the Lynx about the Crow's activity over the last decade, and that such incidents would not occur anymore. As it appears, however, this agreement seems not to have been honored by either the Crow or the Lynx. I do not wish to imply that the Royal Council's esteemed allies would willingly break a royal accord, which leads me to believe that either the Crow itself might be working against its superior, or that a group has split off from the Crow and is now acting on its own. As I know you are a great opponent of the Crow's activities, I am addressing this letter to you to ensure that swift and strict measures will be enacted following this misadventure. I trust in your judgment to deal with the situation in the best interest of the kingdom and its people. I eagerly await your response and am prepared to enact any further measure you deem necessary to combat this plague on our lands. With my deepest respect and admiration, your loyal servant, Lauderbaugh, Administrator of Records. To Lauderbaugh, Administrator of Records. I am saddened by the events chronicled in your letter. What a tragedy. The news you heard from my cousin was correct. A deal had been ratified between the Royal Council and the Lynx, who had assured us they would be able to rein the Crow back in after its previous misconduct. It is a great worry that this might not have been accomplished. I will send a group of my own examiners to your province to help you in your investigation. Please show them the artifacts that have been found and explain the result of your examination to them in great detail, so that we can determine if this incident was perpetrated by an independently acting group of dissenters or if the Crow in itself has decided to disregard the Lynx's authority and to accord with the Royal Council. In the meantime, I will convene with the rest of the Royal Council to discuss this incident and any further steps that could be taken. I will champion my cohorts to arrange a new audience with the Lynx to determine whether they are aware of the situation and what their plan of action will be. I am in good faith that this situation can swiftly be dealt with, and that no further abhorrent actions, such as this one, will be taken by the Crow. I am of the opinion that we cannot let such a pest run rampant in our kingdom. Accords which have been agreed upon by both sides need to be upheld at all costs. Otherwise, there is no sense in this entire system. May fortune cast its eye upon you. Armanig Harkett, Red Duke of Fayhosh, Admiral of the Amaranth Armada, Warden of the People. To their Royal Eminence, High Lord Armanig Harkett, Red Duke of Fayhosh, Admiral of the Amaranth Armada, Warden of the People. As always, I hope to find you in good health and fortune. I am eagerly awaiting the arrival of your royal examiners. I have instructed my own investigative team to prepare all the information we have managed to gather for their visit. I profoundly agree with you that accords, especially those agreed upon with the Royal Council, need to be upheld and respected. Such is the basis of our kingdom. I hope it does not step out of line if I say that the Crow needs to be held accountable for their role in breaking this agreement, and that an investigation into the Lynx's potential involvement in the affair should be opened. Of course, I am not implying that the Lynx knew about the Crow's transgression. and I am certainly not implying that they had anything to do with it. However, if we wish to bring respect to our system of justice, every and all possibility needs to be explored. With my deepest respect and admiration, your loyal servant, Leilard Parabak, Administrator of Records. To Leilard Parabak, Administrator of Records. The other members of the Royal Council have been informed of the situation, and a meeting with the Lynx has been arranged. My cohorts were displeased to hear that our court might have been disrespected, although they have pointed out that it is of utmost importance to find out who the perpetrators of these attacks on our kingdom are. It does not do us well to put the blame on the Crow without knowing for certain that they are involved in the situation. Furthermore, please refrain from throwing accusations toward the Lynx without being able to prove they even knew about these incidents. The Royal Council has worked with the Lynx for longer than any of us have been in power, and they are one of the kingdom's most trustworthy and well-respected allies. Please inform my examiners that they should primarily focus on finding out who is responsible for this tragedy when they arrive. May fortune cast its eye upon you. Armanid Harkett, Red Duke of Fayhosh, Admiral of the Emerald Armada, Warden of the People. To Their Royal Eminence, High Lord Armanid Harkett, Red Duke of Fayhosh, Admiral of the Emerald Armada, Warden of the People. I must apologize for my commentary in my previous letter. I certainly did not mean to imply that the Lynx knew of the incidents or might have been involved. The Royal Examiners departed from Velashta this afternoon. As they will be able to tell you in greater detail, we have determined that the circumstances revolving around the incidents extensively point toward the Crow's involvement in this tragedy. It is impossible to know the exact identity of the people who perpetrated these events, as it could very well have been a sub-fraction of the Crow who decided to act on their own. However, as I have not heard from you since your last letter, and your Royal Examiners were not able to give me any further information about the Royal Council's decision on how to proceed, I humbly ask of you to inform me of any further plans the Royal Council intends to enact to deal with the situation. With my deepest respect and admiration, your loyal servant, Leilard Parabak, Administrator of Records. To Leilard Parabak, Administrator of Records. The Royal Council has convened with the Lynx and the situation is being dealt with. You do not have to concern yourself with the further evolution of this matter. I would advise you to keep news of the incident from spreading as best as possible. It would not do any good if the wider population were to hear about it. Your main responsibility in this situation is to assure the well-being and serenity of your subjects and all people living in our kingdom. You do not need to contact His Royal Eminence, High Lord Armanid Harkett, about this incident any further. The Royal Examiners have been able to report any necessary detail for the further continuation of this investigation to His Eminence. May fortune cast its eye upon you. Javak Barret, Magistrate to the Royal Council. As mentioned before, episode 11 will be released on the 11th of July. Next week there will be another small bonus episode. As always, you can read the transcripts to each episode on thehardpire.com, where you can also find additional information such as character art or a map of the journey. If you want to support the podcast, you can tell a friend about it, leave a review wherever you listen to the podcast, or check out the Ko-fi or Patreon page. The Hardpire is written and produced by me, Audrey Martin. Thank you for listening.